Hello everyone, this is the follow-on video to why having a shorter amount of space versus the 8 times works amazing in this one. I love these kind of bases. This rock formation's awesome. I think sometimes they can have an entrance exit on this side. This one happens to be fully enclosed. If you can find one like this, snag it as fast as you can. Put a building permit as fast as you can. Literally go back here and put in a building permit. Now I have to put up a fire because the game dynamics make this so dark you can't see anything. It's kind of, and it's nice that they made it realistic, but it's annoying because you can't see anything. So you can see that it's actually built into the wall. I don't know if I take this out, if it'll fall out. I don't want to take that chance. Right away, I can put up a 2x1, put up a wall, put up a door. I can do probably this way. It's all about how you can open the doors. Boom. This is, well, I won't say it's secure yet. Okay, so this is secure. I mean, nobody's gonna, no. Okay, stand corrected. Okay, now it's secure. Now it's at a point where, you know, we're looking at what? Even if you don't put a solid foundation, looking at 3, 6, 900, 1200, 1500, 1800 stone plus door. And you can put down a sleeping bag in this corner. And if you want, you can even, there you go. You can put down a bunch of boxes. Now, you know, you're starting out, you may or may not have the ability to, there you go, you know, get your guns back there. Plenty of storage. And then it's just a matter of game. And I'm not going to go too much in detail there. I mean, you know, having a 2x1 is actually a lot of space for a solo player. There's another beautiful thing you can have happen up here, which is when then if you get the ability, you'll see that that actually gives you some space. And I'm just going to use stairwells for now, just for conversation piece. You can actually put more storage up here. And I think this is true for every one of these kind of rock formations. At least I've seen it quite a bit. I don't know if it happens every time. Sometimes you can even put up your sleeping bag up here, but you can definitely put more storage up here. You put a hatch, come up here. You could probably put, you know, you can maximize the space. You put everything in the corners. I don't think you can put things in the rock as much as you used to, but that could depend on the server. Suffice to say is, you've got a lot of room back here and a lot of storage potential. Now, on to how to make this. Now, right now, it's obviously a very small footprint, and the whole point of this base is to keep things small, right? You don't want people thinking that you want people to think that you don't have a lot to hide. You come here, and again, this, by keeping this tall enough above this little hump over there to the right, you can then delete. And again, I wish I were more light. I'm really sorry. And these tall grasses, it's really making it, well, enjoyable to say the least. Okay, so at this point we've got one door. There's a problem with this rock, I suspect. And we can't put a door here, so you're kind of at a quandary. You could either go in this direction, or you can go in this direction. Survey says this direction. And obviously you want as much space. Now again, you put up this, you don't have an airlock. You're going to want to do this as quickly as possible. Putting at least something like that up there. Putting that there. I'd say don't put a door there because I tried it earlier. Just tested it out. It does not work. So this is where it would go. Again, door, lock. And at this point, as a solo player, you not only have an airlock, but a good one. Now I'm going to stick in some fire because this is one of the more annoying things you can't really see. I don't want my video to be all dark on you. So we got this. Up 2, and there we go. Now you've got room to make this a single door, double door, doesn't matter, but it does line up. Right? And you can start going at this point to considering upgrading the walls and such. And even back there you probably want to do a sheet metal option, at least at the minimum of your base back there. But here you can start seeing where this comes into play. You can put a door here and leave it open, but now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 doors to get back there, honeycombed. We're not going to just stop there. There is actually, even if you come and look at this, we're still, again, looking at a small area. I mean, how much do you think is really back there? I mean, if it was me, I'd be like, it's not really too much. It's misleading for a reason. So, luckily, let's see if I can do it here. I think, yeah. We've got this. It's not just one set of honeycombs. We're looking at 2. I gotta remember what I did here. Okay, that's annoying. Luckily for me, there's more than one way. 1, 2. Get them all? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Annoying because I'm hasty. Patience is not a virtue I have much of. Unless you're talking about wood and stone farming, in which case I have quite a bit. Alright. Let's make some more fire because I can't see anything anymore. Again, we got the door there. I'm just going to put that right there. There you go. Now you've got round 2. Again, where do you want your door? There's one door. I say angle it out to here and you'll see why later. I'm one of those kind of guys that thinks it's kind of funny to mess with people. And making people waste C4 and being frustrated to me is, as a solo player, there's very little you can enjoy, and that's one of the joys of life. As I say, look at that. Oh, putting it on does me no good. There you go. So what I would do is something like this. I need that. All right. Up 2. Come on. Not sure why that won't do that. Not at a looking at a building block. I don't believe that's the right error code. There we go. Okay. Obviously you... So, look at this wonderful thing. With very little in the way. Okay, let's... Obviously, we'll have to lose a little more resources out here. Get another one in there. There we go. Don't fail me now. Getting kind of annoying. There we go. Ta-da! And I like this because as you can see. They blow through this, and they feel pretty silly because they come back. You get an armored door here, you get an armored door there. They waste the same amount of C4 thinking, you know, it gives them, they're less sure of themselves. And anything you can do to make them frustrated or annoyed, to me is a good thing. You know? So you're looking at that. What do you know? You're looking, this cave base to me, if you're you know, this base, if you're running back through here, you'd never think that I mean, you might notice it, but it doesn't seem obvious, and it's a lot of C4 to get through. You're looking at, you can do the math, I don't know, 2 here. You know, if you had door here, door here, door here, door here. But when somebody starts to see this, and especially if you made this eventually sheet metal, they're really just going to hate it. And they'll be like, you got to be kidding me. You get all through there, it's honeycombed 3 times. Now, again, this is if you're a solo player. There's not a lot of resources for this. I mean, if you think about building a 2x2 and building up, I would say it's roughly the same amount of resources. I'm not going to do the math. I'm really not good at it. But I can tell you that that's not a lot of resources. I could do that pretty easily. I've done far, far bigger bases in wipes than this. This is a... Ultimately, you're looking at a 2x1 with upstairs. Plenty of room is for the lower player. You got places you can shoot in between. You can... well, let's just keep going. So, this is not the end of it. There's one last thing you can do as a player. Even if you don't have the additional resources, you know, to make the gate, which apparently takes 10 gears. So if you have 10 gears, I would make a gate. Let's say you don't. You're cheap. You're like me. You don't. You want to have a little area that you can call your own, so you don't feel like you're going to get jumped the moment you get out. And you want to utilize both doors. You can, and again, look at where that comes from. See if you can kind of pull this back a little bit, and then just, you got to play around with things. And hope that it can work. Now again, I'm kind of tested this a little bit, but alright, let's take a look. They cannot jump into here. They cannot build here. The building permit goes all the way here. You are very safe in that with one building permit. Now, why would you do just that? Well, here's why. That may not be a good idea. And then you kind of play around with things. Like, oh, boom, boom. So you can make a doorway right here. And you can... I don't know why that doesn't work. Yeah, rust in its building. Mechanics can always make me laugh a little bit. Right? And of course, that's not going to work. Keep it with thatch, guys. Don't pull the old maneuver that I've done before, which is you upgrade and then you sit back and go, oh crap, I can't do that. You can just do something like that. And then you do one of two things. You can certainly... Oh, before I really waste yours and my time, generally speaking, look at what you've got here. You can probably fiddle around with it. You probably, before you do this, you probably want to size it up. Is probably the best way I would say to do it. And look up first, see where it is, find an area, kind of guesstimate what it's going to look like. Say, okay, well, I'm going to probably have to angle this a little bit more like this. Maybe I can push out a little bit more, and then you kind of play with it. It's like, okay, it's probably going to be there. And then because it's easier to do this first, you can then do something like that. And then at least you have an eyeball of what it's going to look like. So, okay, now you see that. Now you can kind of go with the wall. You can get burned like I just did. I don't know if that's even going to work. Watch this. Ready? I'm going to put that up, and I'm going to look up, and they can probably drop in. So if I can do this, I'd rather pull it back just a little bit. Right there. There. They cannot drop in. And feel free to comment if you think you can. But right there, right? Alright, so now you've got yourself a decent little cave base. Ah, see? Weaknesses. Boop. Probably sneak right in here. But they can't. You know, you could always do if you really wanted to is if you see a hole like that, and it's always annoying because you can't destroy your walls, and you basically once you put them down you're screwed. You can always do something like this. Just kind of play around with it and hope that the game mechanics work in your favor. And you just go like this. Alright, you know what? I'm going to concede to them that. I'm going to go like that and just give myself a nice little entrance of sorts. Nobody can see it. And you just kind of play around with things. Like, okay, well, something's going to work in here. Something's got to give. You can play around with the game mechanics and just... You know, I said I wasn't going to do it, but yeah, look at me now. I still do it. That's what I do. Like, okay. Oh, what for? Yeah, see, well, I'm going to stop. I really am going to stop this time. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm just going to put this here. Just because. You know, you could really do this if you really wanted to. You could just block off that entrance and be like, you know what? I'm not going to give it to you at all. I'm just going to go like this. Wait till you hit blue. Come on, blue. I want to know. I did this earlier. I swear you can do this. Just got to play around. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Something's up. I just saw it. Right. Oh, come on. I was trying to adjust it. So, you know, that's the worst. Is you don't want any space, obviously. Go up here. No, it's too far out. And let's do this. Come on. Ooh. I think this is going to have too much space to get in. I'll do it this angle. I think this angle works. Damn it. Ah. So frustrating. There. There we go. Can't get in this way, guys. Ah. You know what you can do with this, too, now that you have this? I was thinking about this. And, well, thinking about it, I actually did it. And you kind of... Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, right there. Ah, you son of a... Son of a gun. What you can do... You gotta play around with it again. That's just the way to go. These mistakes we had. This is why I end up chopping wood 90% of the time I'm playing Rust. It's chopping wood, chopping wood, chopping wood. There we go. What we can do here? You're like, Joe, what are you trying to do? The point is, just because whoops, a little too fast means that you have a sniper. At least you have eyes on outside. So if somebody does raid your base from that side or they're outside, you can have some visibility. Obviously, you don't have much. They could be sitting up here, you know, waiting for you. They can see inside your base, but they can't really do much about it. Like, oh great, you can see inside my base. Good for you. But they don't see much. You know, this is me staring in. So the weaknesses of this base, if you don't open up the other side, obviously. Not much. I mean, other than the fact that it's on the ground. I mean, it's certainly raidable. But you can make them really pay and make it not worth their time. And as a solo, oh, look at this. Look at this. And if you set this up appropriately, it looks like this is a smaller entrance. You can, if you're able to maneuver things, play around with it, you may be able to get 2 entrances, or you might just be able to block it off. I kind of like the stone walls, though, just because they seem like they take up more space, and they have that, and you can look outside. So if you plan it right, you can use it as a visibility thing where you can look outside and see things. Look at this, these junk piles. Here's a great spot. Absolutely excellent. Fortunately, this is not a live server. It's a building server, so it does me no good. So I hope you liked it. Feel free to comment. It's a pleasure to have you watch my videos. It really is nice. And your input is welcome. Like I said, positive or negative. Hope you have a